Thank you for the opportunity to share one of Jesus Christ's Beatitude. Matthew 5-7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. In the first part of this verse we find 4 words, blessed are the merciful. King David demonstrated mercy most notably by repeatedly sparing the life of his enemy, King Saul, even when he had opportunities to kill him, showcasing a willingness to forgive and not seek revenge despite the persecution he faced from Saul. The stories found in 1 Samuel 24 and 26. Key points about David's mercy towards Saul. Multiple opportunities to kill Saul. On several occasions, David had the chance to kill Saul while he was vulnerable, but chose not to, believing that only God could decide the fate of a king. Public display of restraint. David's actions were not kept secret. He openly showed his followers that he would not harm Saul, even when provoked. David's character. This act of mercy is seen as a significant part of David's character, demonstrating his compassion and adherence to God's will. The last 5 words of the verse reads, "For they shall obtain mercy." King David received mercy from God in many ways, including being rescued from Saul, being made king of Israel, and being restored to intimacy with God. David also received mercy when he confessed his sins and repented. Examples of God's mercy to David. Rescued from Saul, God rescued David from Saul's palace. Restoration of faith, David's repentance was genuine, and he was restored to his former level of intimacy with God. Boldness, David showed real spiritual vitality and energetically jumped back into life. Hope, David cried out to God, in the hope that he would spare his child. David's confession and repentance. In Psalm 51, David laid bare his soul before God and man. In Psalm 51:1, 3, 10-11, David asked God to create in him a clean heart and renew a right spirit within him. David mostly breaking the 6th, 7th, and 8th commandments, thou shalt not murder, that shall not commit adultery, that shall not steal. From a rooftop, the spirit of lust into David's soul to the point he was willing to steal a man's wife, and murder him in the process. In Psalm 86:12, 13, David received the assurance that his soul would be delivered from the lowest hell. David was aware of his own sin and knew that he deserved God's judgment. Unforgiveness thoughts and emotions will open the door to anger, hatred, revenge, and even murder. Unforgiveness can lead to a number of negative consequences. Chronic anger from unforgiveness can increase the risk of heart disease. Unforgiveness can raise blood pressure. Unforgiveness can lead to depression and anxiety. Unforgiveness can lower the immune response. Unforgiveness can cause relationship problems. Unforgiveness can cause bitterness in relationships, and spill over into new relationships. Unforgiveness can cause people to feel at odds with their spiritual beliefs. Unforgiveness can create a barrier between a person and God. Unforgiveness can hinder spiritual growth. Unforgiveness can also lead to caustic, sarcastic, and condemning thoughts and behaviors. Forgiveness, on the other hand, can lead to a better sense of well-being and improved health. God's mercy is so powerful it raised Jesus from the dead. According to the Bible, the last words Jesus spoke on the cross were, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," which is found in Luke 23:34, essentially asking God to forgive those who were crucifying him because they didn't understand what they were doing. When we allow these words to form a habit of remembering "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," to percolate and vibrate in our souls and become part of our thinking, action and emotions, in a sense we will find ourselves being born again with the spirit of joy, peace and love. Repeat "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," as many times as necessary until the words become an automatic response to anger, hatred and revenge. Therefore we can receive mercy ourselves. Remember, we have what we say and do. Mercy. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Thanks you for listening.